we did just learn that legendary actor and director Robert Redford has passed away. He was 89 years old. And I was thinking about this, I think Robert Redford is in more of my favorite movies possibly than any other actor. Let's bring back Jason Carroll, who has been reporting on everything we've learned about his death and his family. Jason, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, I'm absolutely in agreement with you. I think of some of my favorite films, films like Ordinary People, which he didn't even act in. He directed his directorial debut and actually won the Academy Award for. I want to begin, though, once again by rereading the statement that was given to us, which says the following. It says, Robert Redford passed away on September 16th, 2025, at his home at Sundance in the mountains of Utah, the place he loved. Surrounded by those he loved, he will be missed greatly. The family requests privacy at this time. Again, when you think of the name Robert Redford, a name that is synonymous with classic Hollywood actors. You mentioned some of the films there. I mean, the list just goes on and on. The Sting in 1973, The Way We Were with Barbra Streisand, All the President's Men, just some of the films, the noted films that he starred in. This was a man whose career spanned decades. And again, not just an actor, not just a director, not just a producer, but also an activist. You think of this as a man back in the 1970s who started speaking out about environmental issues, also known for his conservation work, spoke out early on about the rights of Native Americans, and of course received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016. This is a man who will be greatly missed, not just in Hollywood, but around the world.
You know, one of the most famous lines in The Natural, where he played Roy Hobbs. Roy Hobbs said he wanted people to walk down the street and look at him and say, there goes the greatest ball player that ever was. You know, with Robert Redford, he could walk down the street and people could say, there goes one of the greatest movie stars there ever was, to be sure.
Without
Jason,
question.
Thank you. I want to bring in Brian Stelter. And Brian, you had a chance to actually interview Robert Redford for CNN. Brian joins us by the phone right now. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, if there was a Mount Rushmore for film, Redford would be right there on it. And you know, he had that stature, he had that presence in every room that he walked in. He created and helped and nurtured countless careers by founding the Sundance Film Festival. That is one of his greatest legacies. Actually soon moving, but that annual festival, one of the most important dates on the calendar for independent filmmakers, for documentarians, and that was all thanks to Redford. I remember interviewing him there about a decade ago. He was pushing 80 years old almost at that point, and he talked to me about how he still learned something new about film every year he was there. He said, I'm looking for innovation. I'm looking for new ways to tell stories with cinematography, with using the camera in different ways. And I found that so inspiring then and again now, that he was always looking for new ways to tell stories, always trying to learn about the art and the craft of filmmaking from younger generations that he helped inspire. You know, he also produced many TV series over the years, including a couple for CNN over the years. The number of titles he had, the number of fans he had, it's really immeasurable, John.
Yeah, you know, his love for the environment. Just watch A River Runs Through It, which he directed. You can see how he felt about the outdoors there, not to mention the fact he helped launch Brad Pitt's career in that remarkable role. Brian Stelter, I'm watching you talk to him right now. What an interview that must have been. Thanks so much for sharing your experiences.